Hey, my friends, I wanted to share with you a story of our recent client, Balkis. She came to us with type 1 diabetes, a lot of insulin resistance, weight gain, especially after going pro-metabolic. And I think pro-metabolic can be looked at as a very healthy lifestyle, and it was something that, early on in my health journey I found to be super effective, but ultimately it needs to be really contextualized because for people that are attracted to that style of eating or lifestyle, a lot of times they'll be pretty depleted, pretty low on the metabolism spectrum, and then they add in all these calorie-rich foods, the carbs, the fats, and then they see big increases in blood sugar and insulin resistance and weight gain, right? And that's what Balkis experienced. She was just going a little bit too fast, and she was doing the best that she could. She was DIYing it herself. She was following the people on social media. She was taking the courses, but she was seeing like the results of this, were helpful to some extent because she was still doing it, but, it still felt like it wasn't quite personalized to her, and she wanted a team that understood the importance of metabolism while understanding the experience of someone with type 1 diabetes. And so that's when we really started the Pohlman Method. And, for her, it was first and foremost getting her more tailored dosing strategy for insulin, because she was more so guessing her insulin doses. It wasn't anything consistent because she wasn't getting consistent results with her blood sugar. And so we, based on her blood sugar, trends and what we were seeing on our CGM, we helped her adjust her insulin dosing so she wasn't just guessing, but had consistent dosing recommendations no matter what that food looked like. And what that helped her to do is really reduce those stubborn highs, reduce the insulin resistance, and get that quick blood sugar stability. Of course, we can't tell her to, hey, you have to take this insulin dosing. That has to come from her doctor. But ultimately, getting those recommendations of a ballpark of where she should be at based on her trends was very helpful for her. And then the second piece that we looked at was prioritizing protein dominant meals, because many times when clients start like a pro-metabolic style of eating, again, they're eating way too many carbs, way too much fat, especially when you consider the low metabolic rate that most have and the activity levels that they have. It creates a recipe for weight gain and high blood sugar or blood sugar dysregulation. And so that protein really helped to satiate her, satisfy her appetite, balance out the calorie and macronutrient distributions to really support her insulin sensitivity, support her weight loss, because her body was now getting the food that it could hold on to, it could use better, and it could stabilize things like her weight as well. And then thirdly, we looked at outside movement to really support, of course, her weight loss, but also her stress resilience. And the walks, being outdoors, really helped to improve that insulin sensitivity, her carb tolerance, her tolerance to stress. So it was no longer really driving that insulin resistance, that inability to lose weight, and those big blood sugar swings. And so after implementing those three things over the course of 4 months, Balkis really saw amazing results. She reversed her insulin resistance and is no longer experiencing those big stubborn highs. Her blood sugars are far more balanced. In fact, she said that they were more balanced than they ever have been. She has lost 30 pounds without cutting out carbs, without cutting out meat, dairy, living plant-based. A lot of the strategies that are typically in the type 1 diabetes space, she was able to regulate her blood sugar and weight without, which is great, right? And then she feels like she's the healthiest that she's ever felt. And she learned how to manage it even without working with us, right? And that's the most important thing, and I talked about that in videos prior. It's not necessarily all about what you achieve within the program. It's about having the tools to sustain this long after you're done working with us, right? So if you are like Balkis and you want to balance out your blood sugar without cutting out carbs, without cutting out different food groups, wanting to support your body's metabolism, message me the word interest, and from there we can have a one-on-one conversation to see if we're the best team to help support you and helping you with your blood sugar and your health goals.